Hello, my name is Florian Jakob and I'm going to show you around on ProfiCloud.io, the IoT platform from Phoenix Contact. And in today's video, we are going to take a look at the stat widget in the time series data service. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I already have my dashboard open, my example dashboard, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to use the widget. It's used to show that, for example, the latest or the highest, the maximum, minimum of incoming data, for example. And in today's example, we are going to use it to show the current value of the state of charge, for example. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add a panel. Click on that empty panel. Now in the visualization tab over here, we can see the stat widget. If it's collapsed, you can always expand it and click on the stat widget. And as you can see, we have no data available, which is fine, and we are going to fill it with data in a minute. So first thing I want to do is I want to rename it current state of charge. I can always, as usual, give it a description, and you can see it's changing directly over here. So now to fill this area with some data, we are heading over here to the queries, and as usual, we are going to rename the query to state of charge, so it's easier later on to see it directly. We're going to select the device. I'm going to use the energy storage number 1, and we're going to select the metric. We can use, as usual, the auto completion feature and use the auto state of charge over here. And as you can see, it's at 0.72 or 72, whatever you like. What I'm going to change is I don't want to have the mean value of the last 24 hours. I want to have the last value. So I remove the mean value over here and take the last, something like this. And as you can see, it's looking a bit different now. But since we are talking about simulated data, this is the right data. I'm going to give it a name, state of charge in percent. Now I also need to set the field to previous, so it's looking a bit better and there are no non-available values in here. I want to set the unit to make it look a little bit nicer over here. So I'm heading over to the field over here, and I can simply use the unit. I'm just typing in percentage. I can now decide if I want to have it like this with decimal numbers or in full numbers. And as you can see, the decimal numbers are the right things I want to choose right now. I could use the minimum, maximum, or the decimals, and in this case, we're going to just leave it out. Since we're talking about percentage, everything is fine as it is. The display name can be set over here. This is important if we're talking about multiple queries in one stat widget, but for now we can leave it out. The no value is always important. It could be the case that there's no value coming in, and that's why we want to say something like, and now we have a very cool thing with the stat widget. We can add thresholds, so visual thresholds, not to be notified. But if I take a look at this, then everything is fine. Since we're talking about percentages, we want to have the base is in this case red, deep red. And now we're going to add a threshold. For example, the worst thing that might happen is it drops below 40% state of charge. Then we can put it to yellow. As you can see, everything above this will now be yellow. So we are adding a new threshold, putting it to 0.6 and have it in yellow. And for example, everything that's above 80% will then be green. And as you can see now, it's green. So these are the basic functionalities of the stat widget. Now we're heading over back to the panel. So what I like to do is, since we are in most of my dashboards, I'm using the graph widget in combination with the stat widget. I like to hide the graph in here because it doesn't give you a tooltip. So I could just switch it to none. Now I could also decide if I want to have the number colored or the background. So if we are talking about a dashboard where I'm just taking a very short look at, then this makes sense to actually see something is going on. Something is in a yellow state, in a red state, whatever you like. The alignment mode is also important if we are talking about multiple queries in here. And for example, also if we are removing the panel title, which is possible, then you can see the state of charge like this in here with the number. If we have the panel title available, it will show something different. We're going to leave it like this, like it is. We can also set the title and the values if we are, for example, 24 pixels. We want to have it something like this, but you can also keep it the way it is, so it will expand and resize according to the area of the panel. You can click on apply, save the dashboard again, and there you go. You have now one stat widget. I can now resize it, for example, save it again, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching these small video snippets. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. We are more than happy to show you around, give you a live demonstration of what we are showing here. And we are very curious about your use cases. So please reach out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.